This is an ergometer, or as rowers say, an erg. And during the wintertime, Virginia rowers spend at least 90 minutes a day riding this. And of course, the Madison County faithful will be listening for this sound tonight. That's the shotgun they fire every time their team gets into the end zone. Here in Joel Coliseum, defeating Wake Forest, I'm standing right about where Darius Thompson made that buzzer-beating three, and so it shall end where it all began. Hokies head football coach Frank Beamer, a 1969 graduate of Virginia Tech, announced today the 2015 season will be his last. You are looking live at Scott Stadium, where we are just 2 hours away from kickoff between Boise State and Virginia. And Casey, you mentioned it, a rare Friday night kickoff. Unlike last week, no rain coming down, field conditions much drier. It is perfect for football under the Friday night lights. There's certainly questions surrounding head coach Mike London and the Cavaliers, but the biggest question entering this season was answered when the coaching staff announced junior Matt Johns as the starting quarterback. We are just under 2 hours away from kickoff and getting ready to take the nation live to Blacksburg, ESPN Game Day. Tyrod Taylor continued to show just how dynamic he is at the quarterback position. The College World Series approaches, and who's left standing? The Virginia baseball team punched its ticket to Omaha yesterday. Ahead 2-0 in the bottom of the seventh. The Commodores' Roe Coleman hits one up the middle. Here comes the run, doo-da-doo-da. Vanderbilt leads 3-0. And that was hello and goodbye for Cavs pitcher Connor Jones, so Kevin Doherty comes on in relief, and Dansby Swanson gives the ball a ticket to ride. Cavs went down 5-0 after 7 innings. Now, in the top of the ninth, who's not ready to let it be? Jack Gerstemeyer sends it right back up the middle. Kenny Towns comes home, and that ended the shutout to make it 5-1. Ernie Clement at the plate with 2 outs. Clement pops that one up to shallow center field, and that'll do it. Vandy pitcher Kyle Wright gets the win with a little help from his friends. Virginia lost 5-1 in Game 1 of the College World Series Finals. The Hoos face Vandy tonight in Game 2 of the CWS Finals in what is a must-win for the Cavaliers. Now the question is, can Virginia force a Game 3 against Vandy? Tomorrow never knows, but yesterday has come and gone, and the Hoos now put in a hard night's work if they want to keep their national championship hopes alive. Sports director Marty Hutloff joins us live from Omaha with more on what Virginia must do to get back in this series. What's up, Marty? Some updates tonight on the CW at 10 and on your NBC 29 HD News at 11 and in sports. We'll keep you guys posted on the action from Omaha with Virginia and Vanderbilt.
8 Paul McCartney references, just going to say it.
Love it.
Thanks, Will.
We'll be right back.
The people in Vegas set the Washington Redskins 2015 over-under win total at 6.5 games, an upgrade over the team's 4-12 2014 finish, which tells you new general manager Scott McCloughan made some off-season additions, one of whom can't wait to make an impact. Washington lists nose tackle Terrence Knighton at 354 pounds. Knighton's the closest of any Redskins player to weighing a ton, but the former Temple standout says it's not just his size that makes him disruptive.
If you look at all the big guys that have played my position, you know, Will Ford, Casey Hampton, Jamal Williams, you know, big guys in the middle, Sean Rogers, those type of guys are special because of their foot speed and their hand speed, and that's something that I've watched over and over and over.
Advanced football metrics would tell you Knighton ranked 3rd in the NFL in run defense, yet rumors of being out of shape at the start of free agency prevented Knighton from landing a long-term deal. It wasn't until former high school teammate Chris Baker came along that the DT settled on DC.
The Redskins owe me more money on my new deal because I got them a bargain deal on pot roast.
Finder's fee?
Finder's fee, baby. Having guys like Terrence and Paya and Ricky, all these new additions, is only gonna make us better.
Obviously, knowing them since we were children, you know, came out of high school. You know, I had like 2 offers. He had like 100 offers. I ended up getting drafted. He didn't get drafted. So, you know, our careers kind of flip-flop, but, you know, we found a way to get back together.
Knighton's presence has already grabbed the attention and respect of many teammates, like leading sack artist Ryan Kerrigan.
He's proven that time and time again, and during his time in Denver and in Jacksonville, that he can be a difference maker, and you know, hopefully he can be that for us this year.
A guy like him is a great addition just because he's more versatile. We can do. He can demand 2 or 3 blocks every play. I mean, every play someone's going to be demanding to double him, chip up. They can't just leave him alone. So if they come off on him, come to me, he's going to make the play in the
It
backfield.
was just the 8th time Game Day broadcasted from a non-FBS site, and it was the 65th different school the pregame shows visited. It was an incredible atmosphere on the quad in front of Wilson Hall, which ended with host Lee Corso picking JMU to top Richmond. The entire quad erupted, which capped one of, if not the best college game days the show has ever seen.
Words can't describe what that scene was. You know, not only to have gone to school here, but just as, you know, a producer of the show, that was, without bias, you know, that was the greatest scene that we've ever had for the show. It was unbelievable. And it's not just me saying that, it's Reese and Kirk and Lee, who's been doing it for eternity. That was, you know, it was awesome.
We've never had the chance to take in the game day experience, and it's just great. When they said JMU's the best, I don't see how I can get much better than this.
And we have been nothing but excited for them to come, so the fact that they're here, it's like unbelievable.
We're hungry for the win, so it's going to be awesome. It's hype.
There was a lot that went into James Madison even having the opportunity to hosting College Game Day.
It was deep down a list, and it was sort of on there for fun for a while. And then when all the bigger teams that were in bigger FBS games today lost last Saturday, sort of like the perfect storm. The stars aligned, and we pulled the trigger.
What does College Game Day's arrival at JMU mean for not only the program, but also for FCS football?
I think it's just a tremendous atmosphere, obviously, for both JMU and Richmond. It's a profile for the FCS. I've been getting text messages all morning from my colleagues around the country about how big a deal, how good it looks, and just a great job.
And as far as to whether College Game Day will ever find itself back in Harrisonburg,
we've been to many places twice, and again, we're not going to come back because I went to school here. Like, that's for sure. That was not the reason of us coming here. We came here because the game had a hook, and it was a week of FBS games, and got a matchup of ranked games, and it would take something like that again in the future.
Matt, 12,000 turned out to the quad today to watch College Game Day this afternoon. A huge congratulations to James Madison for living up to the hype that this event has. And Matt, there was an actual football game being played
There's that
between
whole
these
thing
two
after all
schools.
this.
Yes, between Richmond and James Madison. I'll have those highlights ahead in sports. The 13th ranked Virginia basketball team is on the road at Florida State. The Hoos trying to keep pace in the ACC and trying to get their first conference road win of the season. Cavs have won their last 5 games against the Seminoles. First half off the FSU turnover, Malcolm Brogdon finds Devin Hall for the dunk. The Hoos take a 21-18 lead over the Seminoles. Later, London Parentis came in as the ACC's top three-point shooter at 56%. Parentis knocks down the triple. UVA up 24-20, but before the break, Seminoles get some momentum. Malik Beasley buries the three-pointer. UVA led 28-25 at the half, and they're 10-0 when leading at the break this season. Second half, Wahoos trail by 8. Anthony Gill slams home 2 of his 13 points. Cavs clawing their way back later. 5:04 to play. Who's down 6? Parentis unconscious from triple range. He went 4 of 7 from beyond the arc for a game-high 19 points, but it would not be enough. Florida State shot 46 from beyond the arc. Devin Booker splashed from 3, and Virginia dropped its 3rd straight ACC road game, 69-62 to FSU, who's returned to JPJ Tuesday to host Clemson. The Virginia women's basketball team was also on the road, taking on Georgia Tech. Looking to rebound after that 59-41 loss at home against Louisville. UVA is 500 in ACC play at 2-2. Cavs still without Faith Randolph. Michaela Vincent was trying to fill that void, and she certainly would. First quarter, Vincent in the corner for 3. Cavs up 9 at that point. Vincent was 4 of 7 from beyond the arc in this one. Second quarter, game is tied. Brianna Mason strong to the bucket, high off the glass. Virginia up 34-32, but trailed by 3 at the half. But after the break, Vincent, her hot streak continued. The fake, the take, and the floater goes. UVA leads 49-47. A few possessions later, Vincent bringing it up, crossing defenders up, going through traffic. The bucket gives Virginia a 54-51 lead. Vincent had a game-high 23 points in this one later. Cavs up 10. Georgia Tech turns it over. Mason steals it and takes it to the tin. Cavs led by 14 at that point. Mason had a career-high 21. Virginia wins at 78-67, improved to 3-2 in the ACC. In the CAA, the JMU women hosted Northeastern at the Convocation Center Sunday afternoon. Jasmine Gwathmey knocks down the fadeaway jumper. She was hot today. Later, more Gwathmey. She gets it inbounds and hits another fadeaway. Gwathmey had a game-high 29 points. JMU scored 33 points in the third quarter. Angela Mickens gets 2 of those here. The harm and the hoop. The RE Lee product had 20 points. JMU wins at 85-62 over Northeastern. To the NFL, the divisional round of the playoffs continued Sunday. In the NFC, the Carolina Panthers hosted the Seattle Seahawks. Cam Newton 1-2 all-time in the playoffs, trying to get the Panthers over the divisional hump. First quarter, Panthers up 7-0. Russell Wilson, the Richmond native, picked off by Luke Kuechly. Luke takes it in for the score. Panthers lead early, 14-0. Second quarter, Panthers up big. Cam Newton to Greg Olsen. What a catch by the tight end out of the U. Panthers led 31-0 at the half, but Seattle would come back in the second. Wilson doing things only Russell Wilson can do. Hits Jermaine Kearse back of the end zone. Seahawks would get within 7 after a field goal, so they try the onside kick, but Thomas Davis, the Walter Payton Man of the Year, recovers for the Panthers. Carolina holds on 31-24, advancing to its 4th NFC Championship game in franchise history. In the AFC, Denver and Pittsburgh facing off in the Mile High City. Peyton Manning back under center. These teams mostly traded field goals for 3 quarters, but in the 4th, it's Fitzgerald Toussaint fumbling, and it's recovered by the Broncos' DeMarcus Ware. That led to this 3rd and goal. C.J. Anderson, touchdown. It's a 5-point game, so they go for 2. Peyton Manning to Demaryius Thomas. Denver downs Pittsburgh 23-16 and will host New England in the AFC Championship game. So we know the matchups, yes. Pats and Broncos, another Manning-Brady duel. And in the NFC, it's going to be Cam, maybe the MVP this season, and Carson Palmer against the Cardinals. So pretty good matchups in the NFL.
Thanks. We'll be right back.